the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 5, the man accused of murdering a gas station employee and having a decomposed pregnant woman's body inside his home appeared in court today. We have a live report in what we know tonight. And 2 Loudoun County Public Schools employees have been indicted by a special grand jury. How one parent is speaking out against the school system. And could we finally see relief at the gas pump? What that means for your wallet as we stretch your dollar coming up.
And finally, we're starting to clear the clouds out of here this evening. It's looking like a very clear night ahead of us. But what does that mean for our temperatures? Is it about to get quite cold? We'll have a check for you coming up here in just a bit.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 5 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan in for Mark Hall tonight. And developing right now, the man accused of murdering 2 people, including a Montgomery County gas station clerk, made his first court appearance this afternoon. And tonight we're learning new details of the pregnant woman whose decomposing body was found inside his home. Officials are now working to confirm her identity, but they say she was shot and killed at least a month ago. As we reported Friday, they made the discovery while investigating the clerk's murder in Silver Spring. DC News Now's Annalisa Gale is joining us live outside the courthouse in Rockville to latest. And Annalisa, you were inside the courtroom today.
Yes, that's right, Chris. Right now, investigators have an idea of the woman's age and the sex of her baby. But again, they're still waiting for that DNA match to confirm her identity. The man accused of killing her showed very little emotion in court today.
31-year-old Tory Moore appeared in court for the first time since his arrest. He was originally charged with murdering a gas station clerk.
The victim in the case was a 61-year-old store clerk who was shot multiple times during an assault that occurred inside of that convenience store.
He's now facing 2 additional charges after a young woman's body was found decomposing in his Silver Spring apartment.
What appears to be a 26-year-old female who was 8 months pregnant.
Investigators say the pregnant woman died of multiple gunshot wounds.
A forensic pathologist examined the child at the time of the autopsy and determined that the 8-month-old child was in fact viable at the time of his mother's death. I'm not going to be releasing the name of the victim today until that DNA testing confirms her identity.
Investigators believe she was killed at least a month ago. They say Moore confessed to the crime.
We have been in contact with numerous family members. We are hopeful that he'll be found competent. We'll be able to move forward on these cases.
And right now, Moore is being held without bond. He'll likely appear in court on his latest charges tomorrow. Live in Rockville tonight, Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.
All right, Annalisa, thanks for that update. Meanwhile, taking a look at temperatures right now in our region. Take a look. They'll begin dropping below the freezing mark, with many areas seeing lows drop into the 20s. In D.C., they've just activated their cold weather emergency that starts tonight at 7 o'clock. All right, meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with a check on that forecast. And Damon, it's going to really start to feel like winter.
Yes, it is indeed, Chris. It's that time of year, and now that we finally start to get some of the clouds out of here that have just been pesky, that blanket, if you will, is not going to be with us through the overnight. The clouds keep us chillier during the day, but then at night, they help to keep those temperatures up a little bit, which is why last night we saw lows in the upper 30s to low 40s out there, which is where our current temperatures currently are here this evening. 39 in Hagerstown, 43 in D.C. and Frederick. Generally speaking, you're finding those upper 30s as you go back to the north and west, and then those low to mid 40s still hanging on down to the south and east, especially along the I-95 corridor. Now, the reason we're clearing out the clouds finally here this evening, high pressure. It's been hovering nearby all day long, and we've had a persistent northerly wind throwing these low clouds, the light gray you see on the screen here, showing those low clouds, our direction. Now, finally, with this high pressure starting to have a bit more of an influence, that cloud deck is beginning to break apart, and we're going to continue to see more and more clear sky with each passing hour as we go through the overnight. And check it out as we go through the evening. There you have it, more of a partly cloudy sky, but look at those temperatures steadily dropping. We're already going to be into the 30s pretty much area wide by 7 o'clock. And then beyond that, those temperatures will continue to fall, where we do expect lows by tomorrow morning to get into the 20s. But beyond this, the big story after that, we have quite a storm system approaching the viewing area as we go toward Wednesday night and Thursday, and it does bring the potential for a wintry mess. What are the latest details with this incoming storm system? We'll have a look at your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
Okay, Damon, thanks. We'll see you then. All new tonight, Loudoun County's recently fired superintendent is now in legal trouble. Tonight, former superintendent Scott Ziegler faces multiple misdemeanors after he was indicted by the special grand jury investigating the Loudoun County School District. LCPS spokesperson Wayne Byard was also indicted. He's facing a felony perjury charge. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcella joining us live from Loudoun County School headquarters in Ashburn. And Max, you've been reporting on this special grand jury's finding for a week now, and these are the first indictments.
They are, though it's notable to point out that Attorney General Jason Miyares' office says the special grand jury is still convened, has not been dismissed. Last week when we talked to him, he didn't rule out criminal indictments, and here we are. As you mentioned, Chris, former Superintendent Scott Ziegler facing 3 misdemeanors, 1 count each of false publication, prohibited conduct, and penalizing an employee for a court appearance. And the current Loudoun County school spokesperson, Wade Byard, well, he was put on leave today, LCPS announced, because of that felony perjury charge he is facing after that indictment was unsealed. Earlier today, we spoke with Scott Smith. He is a father of one of the 2 young women who was sexually assaulted. That was really at the center of this special grand jury investigation into the county school district, and he said he was pleased with today's indictments.
Those indictments today are awesome. They're going to help us keep knocking bricks out of the wall between LCPS and the moms and dads of Loudoun County.
Now, you heard Byard clearly excited, but he did say today's victory will be short-lived if the board members on the school board remain in their current roles. He wants all of them to either resign or be voted out soon before their terms are up. Meanwhile, both men charged or indicted by the special grand jury will be in Loudoun County Court tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Reporting live in Loudoun County, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
All right, meanwhile, in Prince George's County, Maryland, 2 14-year-olds have been charged with armed carjacking of a rideshare driver. Police said the teenagers used this gun as the men and the driver to give them her car. She says she was in fear of her life, so she gave it to them. This happened in the 6400 block of Gifford Drive in Temple Hills Saturday afternoon. Officers saw the car, tried to stop them. The boys ended up crashing. Turns out the handgun was actually a BB gun. They have been committed to a juvenile detention center. And developing now, police need your help to figure out who sold an electric wheelchair in Montgomery County. Happened on Hampton Lane in Bethesda on October 26th. Police say the person you see here stole that electric wheelchair from an apartment complex parking garage. If you have any information that helps close this case, you can collect a $10,000 reward. A man accused of being part of the deadly Lockerbie terrorist attack is now in U.S. custody. Investigators say he'll face charges for making the bomb that killed hundreds of people back in 1988, many of them Americans. Anna Brent has the details from Washington.
That suspect appeared at a federal courthouse here in D.C. on Monday. Investigators believe he was a key player in the Lockerbie attack, which is the second deadliest terrorist attack against Americans.
It was these faces on the minds of families when they heard about the arrest in the Lockerbie terrorism case.
It was the first time that I was hopeful.
Victoria Cummick's husband, John, was killed in the 1988 attack when a Pan Am plane flying from London to New York exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. A total of 270 people were killed. 190 of them were Americans.
270 lives were shattered, and thousands of victims' loved ones from 21 nations were left to pick up the pieces.
Now Abu Aguila Massad is in U.S. custody. He's a Libyan intelligence official who investigators say made the bomb that blew up the plane.
We are hopefully going to see not only some justice here, but perhaps
more information about other people that were responsible for this.
2 other men were also accused of being part of the attack. One was convicted in a United Nations court, but was released from jail because he had cancer. The other man was acquitted. Masood would be the first person tried for this attack in a U.S. court, which some say is long overdue.
U.S. authorities have never arrested or prosecuted any suspects in 34 years. To the American families, this felt like a betrayal.
But the families say they're hopeful this is a step towards getting justice.
I wasn't sure if, within my lifetime, we would be able to see the day. So this is a significant milestone.
U.S. officials haven't explained how exactly they got Masood into their custody. His next appearance in court will be on Wednesday. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Well, news of a burst pipeline in Kansas prompting uncertainty about whether gas prices will keep going down or surge to make up for lost oil. Crude oil prices ticked upward today after thousands of barrels of oil leaked from the Keystone Pipeline last Wednesday. This comes as GasBuddy reports a national drop in the average price of gas for 5 consecutive weeks. Here in the DMV, gas costs nearly $3.10 in Virginia, $3.25 in West Virginia, and $3.28 in Maryland. It's $3.50 in the district. As we approach the holidays where families are expected to gather all across the country, health officials fear we could put a significant strain on our healthcare system if we don't take proper precautions. Alex Capriello from our network News Nation has more.
New this morning, concern grows nationwide for rapidly increasing cases of COVID, RSV, and the flu, what health officials have deemed a triple-demic. The CDC says 9% of counties nationwide are considered to have a high risk of COVID infection, and the agency urges people in those areas to mask up indoors. In Los Angeles, the average number of positive cases jumped 19% week to week. The director of public health is urging indoor mask wearing, writing, "When you put on your mask for these few weeks during this surge, it is about the people of LA County. It is about every individual, every visitor, our healthcare workers, essential workers, and other people who serve. In addition to vaccination, it is one of the easiest things everyone can do right now." Mask recommendations are also popping up in other parts of the country as well. New York City's health commissioner wants New Yorkers to mask up in stores, on public transit, and in schools. 12 county health officials and 25 hospital executives want people to do the same in Washington state. And in Oregon, residents there are advised to wear masks in crowded indoor areas. Right now, about 80% of hospital beds are occupied nationwide, and doctors are worried that could rise during the holidays.
Our immune system has not been revved up. The vaccine rates are lower. We are a prime sitting target for other respiratory illnesses as we relax our guard down and begin to have contact with other people.
As Alex Capriello reporting. As for RSV, the ones at greatest risk are children 6 months and younger who haven't built up strong immune systems yet. An RSV vaccine is reported to become available by this time next year.